Good day to everybody out there. This is See Thy Wealth, Water Your Health, Drink a Glass of Water. In today's episode, we're going to go into ex-NBA star Sebastian Telfair from Brooklyn, New York. Played in the NBA, made multi-millions of dollars, and now he's back in the projects. Just got home from jail, and I believe he was locked up with Diddy as well. And he doesn't have any money like he used to have. And this is a prime example of just because you make money doesn't know how to spend it and actually invest it and save it. So we can look at Sebastian Telfair's story and gain something from it. Hopefully, is to learn financial literacy and to learn how to manage your money and not let people who don't know what they're doing occupy your space and your money.
My name is Sebastian Telfair. I was born and raised in mermaid houses in Brooklyn, New York. The day I picked up with basketball was the day I was for sure knowing I was going to make it out. After being the number one player in New York City history, I turned that dream into a reality. I played over 10 years in the NBA and made tens of millions of dollars. I had everything I ever dreamed of. But after a series of legal issues and personal problems,
I try to take care of my baby.
My life has become something I could never imagine. I'm right back to where it all began. Back in Coney Island, back in the projects, back in the fire.
This the block right here. We in mermaid houses. Should be giving me mixed feelings. I ain't gonna lie. It's a more of a love-hate relationship with Coney Island.
So if he made tens of millions of dollars, this is a prime example of a lot of NBA players, a lot of Major League Baseball players, a lot of NFL players who make money and don't know what to do with it, have major entourages, a lot of people to take care of, really no investment savviness. So they end up just putting all their money back into the economy, and they don't know how to actually create their own economy, which is to having their money work for themselves, so that their kids don't ever have to work again. There's no way in the world someone that's made tens of millions of dollars should be back in a situation like this. But when we come from the projects and we come from the hood and we don't get the proper education that we need, this is what happens. And it's not just NBA players and sports players. This is actually for entertainers as well in the movie industry, as well as the music industry. As we see a lot of people in the music industry, they don't have the money in the project, so they sign a $500,000 record label deal, not knowing that they've just signed over all their rights to their music. Most of them, their masters in their publishing and their likeness, and they just don't care because they now have $500,000, which is taxed. So it's not even a full 500,000. So one thing we can learn from all of this is it's not just enough to make the money. We have to know how to spend it as well. I keep telling y'all, I retired before I was 40. Why? Because I know how to spend money and I know how to make money. I know how to make my dollars work for me. You know what I'm saying? So we need to learn how to invest, not save money, but invest the money so the money can actually make money for you.
This is crazy though. Man, this the garden right here. This where everybody got chopped up right here. That's how I became NYC best point guard ever do it right here. Well, you know, when I was coming up through the fire, I remember it didn't look like this. 2016, I came through with Eric Adams, Mark Trigger, the NBA, and we designed all this up. I just was doing it for the community. I was not expecting to be living in the motherfucker though.
When I was in the NBA, making the money, doing what I love to do, I always thought that my life would continue to go up and I would just have a sweet retirement and be able to raise my kids. And somebody told me I was going to end up back in the projects. I would have never believed anyone, not for 1 minute.
Ended up getting locked up in 2017, licensed firearms and all that BS. You know, going through my divorce and now, sheesh.
Fighting the feds and my divorce affected my finances. Now I got to run around broke,
This right here, this the same building that y'all seen through the fire that I grew up in.
He's running around broke because he never had any financial sense. He never knew how to spend the money. He never knew how to invest in apartment buildings or multifamily properties or promissory notes or even the stock market. But the stock market is more difficult to me than investing in real estate. So if somebody like this was able to come through the NBA, make all this kind of money, and all of it go to waste for you to just be right back in the same projects that you started, this is a really bad example of what to do with your money. But there's a lot of jewels that you can learn and pick up from individuals like this who have screwed up their life financially and outside of finances, because he's on his way to a federal penitentiary. As I said, he's locked up with Diddy. So he's messed up all the way around the board. And this is why I'm in the position that I'm in, working on my mental health, because if someone like that who was able to make more money than I have right now and still end up back in the same situation, now going to federal jail, I mean, I will never drop the ball to a sense to where I've made it to a space of freedom financially. So now it's only right that I take care of my mental health, because watching what he's going through, this is a prime example of not just financial issues, but mental issues. Mental issues. Look at him. He looks high. He looks like he's a little inebriated of something. But these are mental health issues that a lot of us are afraid to talk about. A lot of us are afraid to come out and say, hey, I'm dealing with something and I really don't know how to deal with it. I just had weeks and days of crying. You know what I'm saying? I had to shut down everything for a couple weeks because we're so worried about what other individuals are thinking. I'm signing up to go to therapy. I'm seeing a therapist because we're so worried about other individuals and their criticism. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have to get past worried about what everybody else is thinking and worried about what everybody else is saying, because when it's time for things to get real serious and you're by yourself, that's just who you were with, yourself. And you can't worry about what everyone else is thinking about your mental health, about whatever situation you're in. And he's right. Some people go through these situations.
Crazy. Go through my whole NBA journey, go through everything I've been through, end up right back in the same spot. The first thing they're gonna ask you is, can you do it again? So that's the mission. How you feeling? What up?
Chilling.
How's everything?
Okay.
What up, doggy? Cuz that was good. Y'all gotta take this journey with me. We ain't sugarcoat nothing. Look, we ain't got no keys. This is how you get your mail. This is how you get your mail. You ain't got no mail? We good. Can't come in here by yourself. Gotta sign a waiver to come in 2940. I'm gonna show y'all the inside. Yeah. Let's go. This is a culture shock, but I ain't gonna lie, me coming back to the projects was a gift. It was a gift and a curse, but more of a gift, tell you the truth.
I hope that our young brothers and our young sisters who's making millions of dollars can learn from this guy and other individuals. This isn't how you want your life to end up, to where you've reached the top of the top when it comes to money making. I won't say the top of the top, but definitely the top 5% on the planet of making money. If you made tens of millions of dollars, this isn't a route that you want to go down. And this is why mental health is very important, because we don't want to make all that money and then find ourselves doing and committing crimes with gun charges. And now we're laid in the federal penitentiary, fighting legal fees, having to go through a divorce, child support, whatever it is, and people can make it to this level and lose it all and commit suicide because they don't want to go through what it takes to get back to where they were, or they don't have the humility and they just can't stand the public scrutiny. So salute to Sebastian for even sharing his journey and for not folding. And hopefully he can use his time in being incarcerated as a healing step and a stepping stone to healing his mind. And, I think everything will fall into place once he gets his mind right. And this is why I'm on my mental health journey. Speaking of which, I got a therapy session tonight, and I look forward to that. But I appreciate y'all for watching. This is See Thy Wealth. Water your health. Drink a glass of water.